Merry Christmas, everybody. Wow.
Los Angeles, California, Little Tokyo, Aratani Theater. We have one thing to say to you tonight. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Chapo Trap House, Episode 1, Christmas Variety Special. For all good boys and girls, there's only one place to be, and that's here for our Yuletide variety show, and we've got our elves working on a number of great presents for you.
We hope that you're ready to chase away the Hanukkah dragon
Golem.
and bring in the great Christmas and amazing New Year with some exciting holiday romances and daring holiday presents.
If you've never given anyone a daring present for Christmas, fuck you.
Well, I can sense a pervasive sense of anxiety from the audience tonight. And
Yeah.
I know why it is. It's that they don't know what presents to get their loved ones for Christmas.
A lot of people wait till the last minute like this, and it is, I call it stress miss when that happens.
Like, I have a perfect Christmas gift that I really want, but I don't know how to tell anybody.
Oh, come on, Branson.
No,
You can share this with a few friends on stage. No one's listening.
Well, it's a little corny, but I guess what I really want for Christmas this year is world peace. It's a new street drug based off of original recipe Oxy. It's crazy. It's great. It makes you go berserk.
It's crazy that you say that because I also want world peace for Christmas.
Oh yeah?
It's the new Common album featuring Amanda Gorman, whose brave poems always liven up the inauguration.
What was the big single on that?
It's called the Microsoft Surface Pro, parentheses, 10% off with album purchase.
I actually got my family limited edition common turtlenecks this year.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a feeling in the air, a feeling of Christmas. And helping us spread Christmas cheer today, I'd like to introduce our house band tonight, the Dan Boeckner Christmas Time Players, everybody. We've got on vocals and guitar, Dan Boeckner, everybody. On guitar, Nick Diamonds. On keyboard, Alex Fischel. And on drums, Adam. Guys, I don't know about you, but like every 4 years when Christmas time comes around, every 4 years, I mean, speaking for myself, my favorite part of Christmas is every 4 years when you wake up that special Christmas morning, come downstairs, you see the stockings, you see the tree, and you see all the presents. So Christmas, like the Olympics, leap year, it's just one of those things that it doesn't happen too often.
Oh, you're trying to think of things that happen every 4 years.
Celebrating a grandparent's birthday.
I guess World War II, if it was repeated on a loop.
Yeah.
I feel like we're forgetting something.
Well, even though Christmas is every 4 years, Santa is working hard that whole time. And it reminds me of a phrase, if you want to be Santa, you got to work like an elf.
Who said that originally?
Who did say that?
It's like
It seems to be someone.
Wait a second, I'm looking at my computer here.
Is it what day is it?
It says it's November 4th.
Wait, that's not the Christmas month?
It was Biden who said that.
President, wait.
Oh my God!
It's
election tomorrow.
We're fucked.
All this Christmas shit.
We're fucked. We're fucked.
Oh
right,
my fucking God!
Like 60 days away.
Kwanzaa isn't even this month.
All right. Oh wait.
Fuck.
So, the elf quote, that was Joe Biden, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Okay, this actually works out perfectly.
We can scramble. We can fix it.
Yeah. I think we can save. I think
I know what you're thinking, Will.
I think we can save this. We did book a big guest for tonight, and as it just so happens, it actually makes perfect sense that the election's tomorrow because he's not doing anything. So I'd like to introduce our big celebrity guest for the evening. If we could get him out here, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Joseph Robinette Biden. Let's bring him on stage, everybody. Joe Biden.
I'm not sitting down till he does.
Mr. President, thank you so much for being here tonight. And may I just say, you're looking wonderful. You look spry, you look young, you look invigorated. How are you feeling, Mr. President?
I thought this was American Bandstand.
I want to thank you so much. I mean, I know you must be busy right now with the Christmas season.
Very festive. You're looking very festive too, sir.
I don't know who you are.
Hey, Joe, what do you think Jill Biden has lined up for Christmas at the White House?
We have a long night together. I got some Spanish fly.
Joe, you're a car guy. What would you say the official car of Christmas would be?
Well, it's kind of near. I would say it's a limousine.
I told you we were doing the show too late for him. I think we should, if we'd done it at 4
He's
o'clock.
fine.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He looks great. You feeling good? You're feeling good, Mr. President?
This gives this almost some.
He doesn't have a PhD in Christmas studies. He's just that fucking good.
Mr. President, obviously people are very, there's a lot of feeling about Christmas and apparently the election, which is tomorrow. So I guess I have to ask you, what's your favorite Christmas memory?
I was with Cecil Hematoma. And we were riding our sleds. We were our sleds through the creek when it was frozen. And excuse me. I was with, with Tabitha Slots, her brother, Philip Slots. He's my good friend, my best friend. We knew him a long time. We grew up together. He was on his toboggan sled. He hit his head. And I rescued him. I brought him to the firemen to him. I was a volunteer fireman at 10 years old. And he said it was a Christmas miracle. Anyway.
That's something that I think everyone can relate to.
100%.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
He gets it. But look, apparently there is an election tomorrow. And Mr. President, by all accounts, it looks like it's going to be a close one. So I guess I have to ask you, what is your closing statement, your closing argument to the American people about who they should vote for tomorrow?
Yeah, you should vote for me.
He can still win if you vote for him, folks.
Oh, hold on. That's not what I said. Listen, I got an election tomorrow. Most important election of our lifetime. Yeah, Donald Trump. I'm asking you right now to vote for my wife, Dr. Kamala Harris.
Well, Biden, are you worried about Elon Musk sort of taking sides with Donald Trump? Is that going to affect the outcome? Is he going to swing the vote a little?
It's President Biden to you.
Sorry, sir.
I have a foreign affairs question for you, sir. Do you think that the Iranians are holding off on an attack until after the election?
Look, I've been clear on this. I've been clear the whole time. The Iranians, they're not going to do nothing to Brazil. We've been talking about this. I soak on this.
Mr. President, obviously you were running for re-election against Donald Trump, but after a widely panned debate performance led to questions about your mental and physical fitness to be in office, you chose to step aside and pass the baton to your wife, Kamala Harris. How are you feeling about that decision?
We came together, we made a decision. That's what's been done. We said there was a decision. I'm still president. I'm still going to be president. President Donald Trump, he's up next, but right now I'm president. What we were doing, what we said, we did 9/11. We did Gaza. What we said, what we doing with Gaza? Not a damn thing. I've been clear on this. I've said it before.
So, Mr. President, there are no hard feelings. I mean, you don't feel forced out of the race. You don't feel forced out of a second term in the White House, potentially?
Listen, shut up. Talked about this time and time again. And I don't want to hear that question one more time. You asked me a bunch of horse shit. I'm sorry. It's not. Listen, but it is what it is. And you look like a monkey.
Okay, it's getting a little contentious, Mr. President. Maybe we should go to something a little more lighthearted. I saw you in the green room. You said you're a little parched. You're looking for some treats, maybe. And did you notice we have ice cream in the freezer if you're interested?
Listen, anyone who knows me knows I like ice cream. Back in my day, the ice cream truck had no song. There's no music on the ice cream truck. We had to sing the song ourselves.
So wait, you would when the ice cream man came, you would have to sing him a song when you were a
To
kid.
the ice cream man.
To the ice cream man to get ice cream?
You'd have to sing happy birthday to the ice cream.
Did every kid who got ice cream have to individually sing happy birthday to him?
Listen, kill yourself. I'm not asking this again.
President Biden,
He knows what I'm saying.
President Biden, do you have anything to say to to people out there who are considering, who are going to vote for Donald Trump, or like because they don't like ice cream?
Joe,
We got to let him
check
recharge.
his nose. Joe.
By the way, if you are sitting in the first 4 rows tonight, Joe Biden may touch you, and
Yeah, there's tarps under your seat.
Yeah,
just in case.
they may touch you, but in buying ticket, you have consented to being touched by the president.
If you are a woman with a ponytail, tuck it into your shirt. I mean, we did warm-ups, and there were some people sitting out here, and he found them, and he yanked them. So it's not even really a veiled threat. It's going to happen. Put your ponytails in your shirt.
I thought I had a sleep paralysis demon last night. No, he was just touching me.
Joe, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh.
you have
Dual
there's a
wielding.
microphone. You have your own microphone there.
Oh,
All right. Well, we're going to be spending time with the president all night tonight. He's going to be on stage with us all night tonight. We do have some more guests for tonight, and I think Felix and Branson are going to go collect our next guests
Yeah,
when
we
they
should
come
go
out
get
tonight.
'em.
All right. Could you go get them? I think their Uber is outside right now. All right.
We're fucked, Will. How are we going to hold it down without them?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, look.
Riff like Felix?
I don't know how to fucking do this show without Felix, to be completely honest. But good thing is that we prepared for tonight. We prepared for our Christmas variety show. And look, we got a house band here. We got a beautiful theater full of people. So, Chapo and E1, we have put together a sort of an all-star team, the Dirty Dozen of late night comedy writers. We got this great set here. We have a crack team of late night comedy writers, veterans of Jay Leno, Letterman, Bill Maher, and we've come up with some top-tier monologue jokes for you about current events.
And Mr. President, feel free to chime in if you want to.
You should sing him Louie, Louie.
All right, so myself and my co-host Charles Austin here, we're going to give you some topical comedy humor in light of the election. So
I think you'll catch some of these references if
Yeah.
you pay close attention.
just keep in mind that we didn't write any of these, so if you don't like them, blame our writing staff.
So I hear Gavin Newsom likes to cheat on his wife. He loves it so much they should call him Gavin Threesome.
Folks, I don't know if you've noticed, but my hair is longer than it's ever been. Many are saying I look like Charles Manson. Folks, I would have completed the look and carved the swastika in my forehead, but I don't want to be associated with anyone voting in tomorrow's election.
So Joe Biden's in the news.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, folks, I don't know if you heard about this one. On a recent appearance on the Joe Rogan podcast, Vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance says he wouldn't be surprised if Trump wins, quote, the normal gay guy vote. Normal gay guy? What's that? Someone who buys their ketamine at Costco?
So I hear virgins are voting for Kamala and Chads are voting for Trump. And if Trump loses, the Chads are going to kill themselves. I guess it brings a whole new meaning to hanging Chad.
According to a recent article in Wired, Elon Musk's America PAC fired and then stranded dozens of election workers in Michigan after driving them around the state in a seatless U-Haul truck. Folks, is this a get out the vote operation or a lesbian couple planning their second date? Sorry, I just have to break late night show character here for a minute to just bring you some latest Elon Musk news. Folks, I know you heard about his $1 million to vote for Trump plan in the state of Pennsylvania. Well, this is just coming in from today from a courtroom in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm reading here, Musk's lawyer says that his $1 million giveaway is not a lottery. Quote, there is no prize to be won, and winners are not chosen at random, Musk lawyer Chris Gober said. Instead, the $1 million is a salary they earn to be a spokesperson for Musk's pro-Trump super PAC. Winners are picked based on their suitability to serve and their personal story, Gober said. In response, Philly DA team called this a complete admission of liability that Musk is running an illegal lottery under Pennsylvania law. Remember, when Musk announced the giveaway in Pennsylvania, he said, "We are going to be awarding $1 million randomly." DA showed this in court to the judge. Gober argued there's a difference between randomly and by chance, which is why he argued that this isn't an illegal lottery under Pennsylvania gaming laws. Folks, that's why you go to law school, is to argue that there's a difference between randomly and by chance. And this is like a perfect Lionel Hutz moment for Elon's lawyer, because, Your Honor, my client wasn't running an illegal lottery. He was merely committing fraud.
They need to give like Giuliani and Kenneth Cheesebro and all these guys, give them their law licenses back. They look so competent by comparison, but where were we?
All right.
So Donkey Kong hasn't been talking to his nephew lately. Yeah, apparently he's been having too many Diddy parties.
Who's writing this? Who's writing this? Folks, heard about this one? After the longest court case in the state of Georgia's history, rapper Young Thug has reached a plea deal with the state and been released on parole. Yeah, you heard about this? You heard about this? Young Thug, Dan. Young Thug. Fan? So yeah, unfortunately the case took so long, he's now called middle-aged Thug.
Yeah, so Young Thug, he just beat his RICO case. Tony Hinchcliffe's still fighting his. Mr. Biden, I'm kind of curious about your thoughts on what's going on with Thug right now. Do you think he should collaborate with Gunna again? Is that a good idea?
I don't know much about any of that. I'll get this right now. We're gonna win this election.
Tony Heathcliff, what, was Garfield not available? And folks, what's it?
Not for that one.
Heathcliff, Garfield, what's up with MAGA people and loving big fat orange pussies?
Yeah, we've been talking about comedian Kill Tony here. Maybe if you didn't hear, he was in trouble for making racist jokes at a Trump rally. And I know we had a shooting at a Trump rally, but I wasn't expecting a bombing, too.
You folks saw this? You heard about this one? Trump worked a shift at McDonald's. Did nobody tell him there's an election? Maybe he should focus less on flipping burgers and more on flipping states.
So the Hawk-Tuah girl's in the news again. Back in my day, we just called her Monica Lewinsky.
Ooh. Like that one? Okay, Liam Payne died recently. He fell to his death. Talk about pain. Ouch. I guess it turns out the One Direction was down. But seriously, he is survived by his girlfriend and his child. Rest in peace.
So Frank Ocean's in the news. He had Channel Orange, then he had Blonde. What's his next album going to be called? Donald Trump?
You a fan of Frank Ocean, Mr. President?
No, for a number of years.
Mr. President, I heard you're in the news. I know you denied it earlier, but I heard about this.
Oh, not.
Well, what I heard was that you were photographed eating a baby. I've heard of the Atkins diet, but the infant diet? Come on, Mr. President.
He's a good sport. He's a good sport, everybody. French soccer star Kylian Mbappe is in the news again. Mbappe? What is he, a member of Hanson?
That's a good one.
A recent poll of Iowa by political scientist Ann Seltzer showed a 12-point swing to the Democrats. But what they haven't told you is about another poll showing the opposite by pollster John Rootbeer. Hey, President Biden, if Kamala wins, who's going to be put in charge of Health and Human Services? Dr. Pepper?
We were talking with Dr. Pepper, and she's very excited.
Does Dr. Jill know Dr. Pepper?
Well, let's just get talking about.
According to news reports, multiple children waiting to receive a polio vaccination in northern Gaza were injured when Israel bombed the clinic where they were waiting to be vaccinated. Bombing children at a vaccination clinic? Or as RFK Jr. calls it, saving them from autism. That one wasn't funny.
Leno would never.
Yeah. All right, are we ready to bring on our next guests?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, look, our data shows that the state of California and the city of Los Angeles in particular is very much in play this election and could be decisive tomorrow. In light of that, we've arranged the final debate of this campaign between the Republicans and Democrats to help you, the undecided voters of this audience, make an informed choice tomorrow. So if they're ready to come out, representing the Democratic Party is Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. And representing the Republican Party is the Terre Haute, Indiana Recorder of Deeds, Gilroy Monsanto.
The Republican Party sent me here to talk to young people. I don't know where they're at. I see middle-aged people. How y'all doing? My name is Gilroy Monsanto.
Gentlemen, you've each prepared an opening statement. Governor Shapiro won the coin toss back.
It was a dice game.
Governor Shapiro, you have won the coin toss backstage and elected to go first. Your opening statement, sir.
Evening, y'all. When you go to Main Street, Anytown, USA, you notice things. Everyday stuff. Restaurants trying to create the next delicious dish that will surprise everybody. Businesses, hustlers, preachers, church, amen, faith, b-boys, everyday people doing everyday things. I know how hard it is out there. I know what it's like when your slime needs to beat a body, but the body is his wife. I know what it's like giving Unc that call. It's not just smiles and cries out there. It's the bad times. It's the good times. Anytime you need to make a payment, good times. Anytime you need a friend, good times. Anytime you're out from under, not getting hassled, not getting hustled, keeping your head above water, good times. Scratching and surviving, good times. Hanging in and jiving, good times. Defending Israel's right to exist and defend itself against Iranian aggression, good times. Believe that's my time.
Thank you, sir. Gilroy Monsanto, your opening statement, please.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Gilroy Monsanto. I was born in a secret town in Indiana named New Adolphton that only can be seen by millionaires. My father, Valencius, was a Confederate soldier and an alchemist. My mother, Helen Jackson Warlock, is the inventor of sperm jacking. My parents sent me to a sort of reverse Montessori school where I was expected to teach myself to read. Instead, I ended up teaching myself the birds and the bees when I was 14 years old, sitting on a washing machine in a tight pair of Dockers while listening to the song American Girl by Tom Petty. That permanently made all political things to me inherently sexual. My political career and my political philosophy is to always imagine the country as a beautiful, buxom woman. I have envisioned myself climbing up America's tawny hair, Rapunzel style. That's right, in my head, America is a blonde woman with dirty blonde hair, and I use her ponytail as my private elevator. If a lesser man had to hold a single one of my hypersexual thoughts in his head, he'd turn his white briefs khaki within all the stress sweat of his sensuality. I dream of America approaching me on a gravel road in the form of a beautiful woman. Her high-heeled shoes straining over the difficult terrain, nails done, hair teased high to hell, yelling at me from a distance, wait for me, wait for me. I imagine America popping her bubble gum as she lowers her heart-shaped sunglasses at me, winking as my pupils become fixed and evil-looking. The ends in the American rose of consummation. The fantasy ends with me taxing her on behalf of the IDF. I'm getting a little heated up now. Bear with me. I did take some Spanish fly earlier. I'm letting it roll. With my red shaft and my blue nuts, all I need is a rotten little white brine to complete the American flag that I paint on my own stomach. Lord, it's time for a Republican sexual revolution. God lost. Missionary lost. I'm getting wheeled into a Hooters in a custom wheelbarrow, rigged with stirrups. The Spanish fly is really kicking in. I want you, America. If we win tomorrow, I'm quietly withdrawn from public life for about 3 months and then reemerging with a completely new personality. If we lose, this is the new face of the Republican Party. I'm proud to announce changing course. The Republican Party, if we lose, will be woke now. My boy talked to me, showed me some charts and some graphs, and now I'm woke. We're off abortions. You can be gay. You can be poly. You can be trans. Hell, you can even be a black guy. The new Republican Party is a huge tent. It contains everybody but the country of China. We will be focusing politically on an ethnic group within China that I don't want to say the name of them because I haven't been trained on it well enough. But think Machine Gun Kelly, Yellow Wolf, etc.
We don't need your help.
So what are the Republicans going to be up to? That's right. We're focusing exclusively on international business, microchips, deep state occult magic, Caribbean assassinations to give them white presidents. We're going to be creating hypothetical new nuclear elements with names like kaboomium and Reaganite, and we will be secretly depositing these new resources in third world countries to justify invading them. That is the future of the Republican Party. I hope I convinced you today.
Before I get into debate questions, I would just like to note that it's a rare thing in American public life when substantive political issues can be debated in a reasoned, non-vitriolic manner. And I'd like to thank both Josh Shapiro and Gilroy Monsanto for agreeing to hold this civil, intelligent debate tonight. All right, so first question. I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their number one issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. When polled, voters say inflation is the number one concern in this election. Beginning with Governor Shapiro, what will a Harris-Walz White House do to bring down the prices of everyday items like eggs, milk, beer, weed, and cigarettes?
Shit. Glad you don't ask me that. When I was a jit, and I had my Christian bar mitzvah, back then, it was about enough to pay off a car note, maybe get something for us, by us, if you know what I mean. Maybe hit the town, paint that shit red. Nowadays, same amount of money from your bar mitzvah for Christians won't even buy you a washcloth. I know times is tough, but I think once we in the White House, we taking over. DJ Khaled.
Mr. Monsanto, your rebuttal.
Now, Will, you know I love my Nobu. I'm telling you what, the king salmon wasabi sauce is $36. David Chang and I couldn't believe it. What I'm suggesting is we got all these prices. Food keeps going up and down. Now, I want to advocate for a system. Y'all know how gas stations work. They got a big sign that says the name of the gas. We need that for the McDouble. As long as we have standardized pricing on the McDouble, it's got to be posted above, then that's going to solve most of our inflation problems. At least the people who are complaining about that.
I eat at Checkers.
All right, next question. We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. So, Mr. Monsanto, what is your message to voters who are worried about the crisis of Latinos in America?
I'm going to say this plainly and risk whatever vitriol comes my way. There are too many immigrants in this country. In fact, I was remodeling some of my villas, and the foundation's full of immigrant bones. We have these immigrants come to these countries, and they're leaving all their bones in all of our most important buildings. If they can't even be accounted for to take care of their bones, then how are we supposed to let them in this country?
Governor Shapiro, your rebuttal.
Now, understand the frustration. People coming into the country, not knowing our culture, whether it's b-boy, freestyle, graffiti, or any of the other 5 pillars of hip-hop. They should be learning our culture. But at the same time, I ain't discriminating against no butter pecan recons. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And finally, it's been over a year now since the horrific events of October 7th, which saw the brutal slaughter of thousands of innocent Israelis. Since then, we've obviously also seen a handful of Palestinians drop dead of undetermined causes, and the war expand into Lebanon and possibly Iran. Some voters are concerned about this. What can be done to defeat these voters? Josh Shapiro, beginning with you.
Israel is under attack. If we do not storm the campuses now, it will be Kristallnacht times 10. It is an open season on anyone who has ever eaten a rutabaga. Students are not safe to eat potato pancakes without being faced with a kafaya, which is the modern-day swastika. I would not feel safe sending my son to an Ivy League college without air support. We have to take out the snake-worshipping Rafida Shia of Iran.
Cut down the tall trees. I mean, I was talking to my preacher man, whatever religion I am, and he said all sides need some faith.
Mr. Monsanto, what would you do to bring peace to a war-torn region?
Well, I'd say, first of all, I think me and Mr. Shapiro here are in lockstep. A lot of people assume I'm racist or anti-Semitic just because I'm racist, and I am not anti-Semitic. My golem is Jewish, all right? But I want to say this. I come from a long line of evangelical mystics. Now, I don't know quite how to say this, but my family's been around for a long time. And we've been working on this red heifer that I think is going to blow everybody away. Regardless of your feelings on Middle East diplomacy, we have a rare opportunity to do deep Kabbalah evangelical mysticism deep within Al-Aqsa Mosque, where we slaughter the red heifer and gain some kind of liturgical dominion over the world. Now, it may sound crazy, but if you read the good book like I do, little old Gilroy, I'm going to go put my faith in there and think, maybe it ain't so crazy that we can slaughter a genetically engineered bovine in order to get godly powers in the mortal realm.
I'm sorry to break the debate format, but President Biden, did your administration do anything in terms of like a red heifer program to bring about dominion over the world?
The red heifer in Wisconsin's made of strawberry ice cream. I asked them if I could eat it. They said it's for display only.
I mean, what would you say to voters who said you've had 4 years in office and there's still no red heifer? What have you been doing?
I ain't gonna answer that.
I'm technically not cleared to say this, but I'm just going to say it real quick. Clifford the Big Red Dog is real.
There is cap in your raps.
What's he saying? Is he saying, what does that mean?
I grew up with a big red guy from Looney Tunes. His name is Gossamer. Excuse me. They assume because he's red, he's a Republican. He's voted for me every single year, full stop.
This is Gossamer from the Looney Tunes?
That's what I just said. What do you mean? Why ain't listening to me?
He's a Republican, is what you're saying.
What a dumb fucking question.
You think Gossamer's a big fella, but 2 wine coolers, he's about falling right over. We were on David Geffen's yacht. I can't say it. It ended with a woman dying.
I can tell you something about that.
I want to thank our debate participants, Gilroy Monsanto and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, ladies and gentlemen.
You can be Republican, just saying, you can do it.
Now, to round out the first act of the show here, I thought we would check in. These are the waning hours of the campaign, and there's been some good sort of campaign reporting. And I think for the last act before intermission, I'd like to do sort of a classic Chapo reading series. And I wish this could be more sort of bipartisan, but unfortunately, all of the funniest news coverage is about Donald Trump's campaign, including an article today in the Independent. I read it before I came on stage that said he's worried that he's going to die in jail. But, you've probably seen this. The big article was in The Atlantic by Tim Alberta. The headline is, Inside the Ruthless, Restless Final Days of Trump's Campaign. And it begins like this. At the end of June, in the afterglow of a debate performance that would ultimately prompt President Joe Biden to end his campaign for re-election, Donald Trump startled his aides by announcing he'd come up with a new nickname for his opponent. The guy's a retard. He's retarded. I think that's what I'll start calling him, Trump declared aboard his campaign plane en route to a rally that evening, according to 3 people who heard him make the remarks, retarded Joe Biden. Mr. President, how do you feel? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about being attacked that way by Donald Trump?
Listen, Donald Trump can say whatever he wants. No one cares. No one listens to what he says. Fact of the matter is, this retard's president.
It's a shame that they didn't go ahead. It's like sucks that the adults in the room kind of stepped in, because it would have been fun to game it out,
50 red states.
Yeah. Well, I think if I may speak, if I could kind of game this out, Mr. President, if I was your advisor, I think I would suggest you react to that by coming forward and saying you've actually self-diagnosed with ADHD, and that's what's going on here. You get a lot of Zoomers. Oh!
Mr. President, no. Mr. President, no. Please sit down. Please sit down, Mr. President.
He'll be fine.
Okay.
I think damage control for Donald Trump, too. An interesting, sort of like Gilroy here being a woke Republican. I kind of feel that if Trump came out as bi, it'd be a very interesting way to settle the score there. I feel like that would work, honestly.
The staffers present, and within hours, others who'd heard about the epithet secondhand, pleaded with Trump not to say this publicly.
Yeah. Boo. Whoever is on the Trump campaign and doing that, like trying to fill out the Jared role, you fucking suck. Russia, China, pick a gate, convict them of something. Send these people to federal prison.
They warned him that it would antagonize the moderate voters who'd been breaking in their direction, while engendering sympathy for a politician who, at that moment, was the subject of widespread ridicule. As Trump demurred, musing that he might debut the nickname at that night's event, his staffers puzzled over the timing. Biden was on the ropes. Polls showed Trump jumping out to the biggest lead he'd enjoyed in any of the 3 campaigns for presidency. In his 3 campaigns for presidency. Everything was going right for the Republican Party and his nominee. Why would he jeopardize that for the sake of slinging a juvenile insult?
Why not?
Yeah.
What is the point of being 10 points ahead if you can't try things?
It
would suck to work for Trump and just be like thinking you're gonna be like him and do all this, and then you have to be his fucking RA.
Well, in the article, the next paragraph, it says, he didn't appreciate normalcy. Above all, he couldn't stand being babysat.
Well, I mean, did he not notice until now that he had like more minders than any other 77-year-old has?
I think if you wear a diaper, it's okay to babysit you.
Yeah.
People are calling this the most disciplined campaign they've ever seen, Trump remarked to friends at a fundraiser this summer, according to someone who heard the conversation. He smirked at the compliment. What's discipline got to do with winning? Mr. President, do you think that there's a connection between discipline and winning an election?
I seek his wonderful sex with my wife, Dr. Joe Biden. Barack Obama liked eating dog. I like eating cat.
Is that a reference to oral sex, Mr. President?
A lot of Spanish fly tonight.
Yeah. It's funny imagining a bizarro world where like Biden hit the retarded nuclear button first. And now like all the Trump people would be wearing shirts that say retard.
The garbage comment was so funny because like in the article, like, okay, so the Tony Hinchcliffe thing is largely regarded as a disaster because there's something like 500,000 Puerto Rican voters in the state of Pennsylvania. And then instead of just like moving on, he did a photo shoot the next day with him getting in a garbage truck. And apparently that prolonged the story a little.
Yeah, because like the normal voter doesn't know about a Zoom call that Biden did. The only people that are watching that are like the people that are going to write Biden in, like us. So they like see all these Republicans dressing up like garbage, and they're like, oh, so they're doubling down on it.
Well, I saw it was sort of like a Q adjacent thing where these conservatives came up with this acronym for garbage, and it was Great American Rebels Believing God is Everything. And they skipped the second A in garbage, but they got close. They're so willing to own it. Or that Ben Garrison cartoon, I don't know if people saw that.
It was like the devolution of the Republican Party as seen by Democrats, and it just like goes from rhino to Nazi to just a pile of shit. And they're like, that's how you see us, but this is also me.
You should go to McDonald's for a dirty diaper.
You say you want to go to McDonald's for a dirty diaper? So I know I already mentioned the Ann Seltzer poll out of Iowa that's got Democrats feeling pretty good about themselves, but like Ann Seltzer's like, she was the one who predicted Trump winning in 2020. So like, but now she shows this big swing in Iowa, and Felix, you pointed out that like all of the replies to the poll were like, I hope the Diddy money was worth it, Ann Seltzer, 60-year-old political scientist from the Midwest.
Yeah, this like 67-year-old grandmother was deucing Kevin Hart with Diddy. Diddy is sending kites from being on suicide watch. Make sure to pay off Ann Seltzer.
Just a little bit further in the Atlantic article, it does have some great details about a favorite of ours on the show, so I'm just going to read this here. Several days earlier, Trump had fielded a phone call from one of his superfans, Laura Loomer. Ooh. Yeah, let's give it up for Laura. We got some Loomer heads in the audience tonight.
Laura Superhead Loomer.
Man, we got to get her on the Maxim Hot 100.
A right-wing agitator, best known for racist and conspiracist bombast, she has celebrated the deaths of immigrants and called school shootings fake events put on by crisis actors. Loomer had remained one of Trump's most loyal and vocal supporters, even in the darkest moments of his post-January 6 exile at Mar-a-Lago. That loyalty gave her a direct line to the former president. After she had joined the candidate aboard his plane during crucial trips to Iowa and New Hampshire earlier in the year, campaign officials discussed ways to sideline Loomer without causing a scene. They neutralized the volatile situation at the convention this summer, for example, by providing Loomer with a front row seat for Trump's acceptance speech, putting her in close physical proximity to her idol while keeping her far from the VIP area that cameras would be shooting live.
I love how they're treating her like an autistic child that has to get a haircut. Okay, if we just put on like 30 TVs that are playing specific episodes of Thomas.
But now, in the first week of September, Loomer was getting antsy. She called Trump and demanded to know why the campaign had been keeping her at bay, why she hadn't been allowed back on the plane as the Republican nominee toured the country.
School lunch drama.
Trump told Loomer not to worry. He would personally see to it that she was invited aboard the plane for his next trip. Later that day, when Trump relayed this request to Wiles, who since the beginning of the campaign had controlled the flight manifest, she registered disbelief. "Sir, our next trip to Philadelphia for the debate," Wiles told Trump, according to two people familiar with the conversation. "Are you sure that's a good idea?" Trump shrugged. "I don't know," he said. "Just stick her in the back of the plane."
She's holding onto a wheel axle.
Dude, I love the move of just like, your friends don't like me to Trump. Laura Loomer's in a giant fucking hoodie in the back of Trump's Honda. Just fucking like me. Oh, you're great. You'll be in the back of the plane.
Laura Loomer's hanging onto the fucking wing, and like the campaign aides are looking out the window like William Shatner in the Twilight Zone. Sorry, this last bit here, it says, when Trump's jet touched down in Philadelphia on September 10th and photographers captured Loomer disembarking, some of the former president's allies were apoplectic. Republican elected officials began texting campaign aides demanding to know why she was traveling with Trump. But outside of Wiles and LaCivita, Trump's own staffers hadn't known she was on the manifest. They were as bewildered and furious as everyone else. Why Trump's employees find Loomer uniquely noxious when their boss consorts with known racists and traffics in cruel conspiracy theories himself is a separate question. As the night unfolded with Loomer watching the debate backstage and then joining other GOP surrogates in the spin room, campaign leaders weighed their next move. Yanking her from the plane risked turning the story into something bigger and messier. A jilted Loomer lashing out against corrupt rhino deep state simps in the aftermath of Trump's miserable debate performance. The only problem, they were headed straight from Philadelphia to New York City for a memorial ceremony the next morning honoring victims of 9/11, which Loomer naturally had described as an inside job. It goes on to say that, it says here, what sealed Loomer's fate, according to two people who were part of these conversations, wasn't just her racist diatribes, but also her appearance. Trump, who is generally appalled by plastic surgery, was disgusted to learn about the apparent extent of Loomer's facial alterations. When asked for comment, Chung told me, Laura was a hard worker in the primaries and President Trump appreciates a fighter. Okay, I'm calling big cap on the idea that he's disgusted by plastic surgery.
Yeah, what did he think happened to her? Oh, maybe her dad was a pencil sharpener.
And like, he spent the last 4 years at Mar-a-Lago being surrounded by some of the most
beautiful women in the world.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my, I would love to make out with one of those leather balloons he consorts with.
Making my hands more calloused as I touch them.
Those are the polls from that article. I got one more bit of Trump late campaign October surprise in the second act of the show. But we will wait until then because it's intermission time right now. Stick around. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. So let's give it once again for the Dan Boeckner Christmas Time Players, everybody. since Vietnam. Sweet home Alabama, play that dead band song. Turn those speakers up full blast, play it all night long. Sister Sally, Grandma's dying of cancer now. Cattle all have brucellosis, we'll get through somehow. Sweet home Alabama, play that dead band song. Turn those speakers up full blast, play it all night long. Drop in, see if I can drink enough. There ain't much to country living. Shit, piss, jizz, and blood. Sweet home Alabama, play that dead band song. Turn those speakers up full blast, play it all night long. Sweet home Alabama, play that dead band song. Turn those speakers up full blast, play it all night long.
Let's keep it going for the Dan Boeckner Christmas time players, everybody. Play it all night long.
Thank you.
Ooh, one of my favorite songs of all time. Thanks again to Dan Boeckner and the boys. All right, going to the second act of the show here. Mr. President, are you enjoying yourself?
Feels like Christmas Day.
All right, well, folks, this election year has seen both campaigns go outside the bubble of traditional institutional media by seeking out appearances on podcasts hosted by comedians, athletes, and influencers. With Kamala Harris being interviewed on Call Her Daddy and by Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay, and Trump making stops on Joe Rogan, Theo Von, the Nelk Boys, and others. These shows are particularly useful for reaching young male voters who feel underserved by the softer, more feminine touch of traditional political reporting. Joining us now to explore this phenomenon and provide insight into the issues that matter to young men in American politics is a collection of influencers, streamers, and podcasters who sit at the intersection of streetwear and politics. Ladies and gentlemen, from the dopeness, please welcome Caden Tumilli, Paper Chaser, and FaZe Polanski. Let's bring them out.
Yo, this old man is real as fuck.
I could outlive you 8 days a week.
That one's Joe Biden.
Oh, from FaZe Clan? FaZe Joe Biden?
Was it?
That's right, that's the original face.
Bro, I don't even know what we're doing right now, though. We just got off the plane. We were just in Dubai. SoundCloud sent us over there to see if we would get kidnapped.
Yo, we didn't get kidnapped because we vibe with everybody really good and shit. And like, you don't think that like those guys are cool and shit, but they're like, those guys will have like 6 fucking tigers and they'll have like 7 fucking lions, and like you can fucking throw them around, wrestle them with them shit. And if they bite you and shit like that, they won't even put them down.
You think like there's like so many like Saudi fail sons that like fuck with us because they're on they're on Steam all day. They love us, you know what I mean? Like the vibe over there is basically the same as over here. Like these Saudi Felsons, they're basically living in clout houses over there, just like we are over here.
Yo, just because they follow like the Quran, like people think that like the shit they're doing because they have to like fucking face like McDonald's like 5 times a day that it like fucks up their life and shit. And it's like, no, you can be a fucking doctor, you could be a teacher, you could be like a money printer at the bank. And you could be a fucking Muslim, and it's straight up, like, one thing I learned in my fucking life is, like, it could be either the guy who's wearing straight up, like, robes and, like, a hat, and he could be the nicest person in the world, and then a guy who's wearing, like, a fucking suit and tie could be the biggest piece of shit who's out to fuck you. And there's no difference.
And basically, like, the Kerrang's cool as fucking shit, because we were talking to the guy about the Kerrang and stuff, because, like, what he was saying is like basically the Quran has like it has like the 5 pillars of hip hop, but it's just Quran. It's not a hip hop at all.
Yeah, you could be a Quran follower and you can like I don't know how to spit. I don't know how to fucking dance. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter because all that matters is that you give like 10% of your friends' money to them.
And they fuck with the Bible too.
We got to like study the Quran with like Crown Prince Muhammad from the Bible.
Oh my God.
Like, he's in that shit.
You think guys from the Bible are going to be old as shit, but he was like 24.
He said he fucked with us like he knew who we were.
Straight up. Like he took my phone and had me follow him back. And like once I like, whatever like legal things are happening, when I get control of my phone back fully from the state, I'll for sure be DMing him and shit.
Bro, when I came back home, he sent me the eyeball emoji at 2 a.m. I thought he was trying to hook up, but I forgot it's like a time difference. He was watching me stream.
I bought one of those houses on the line and shit like that, and I was like, okay, like if you're gonna have a town that's a line, you should have a house that's a line. And he says, what do you mean? And I said, I'm going to have like a fucking house that's like half a mile long, and it's like, I can barely even fucking fit in it. Because they're going to have a river. That's what the line means, is they're going to have a river there, and that's going to be next to my house. So basically, like, my whole house is going to be like a path, but like with a house.
That's so fucking tight because so many cities, they just don't give a fuck what type of water they're near. They're like, oh, we'll put the fucking lake over here.
Dude, you can't even drink out of most lakes.
Bro, that's why I love being in California, though. I'm drinking that California Clear straight out the faucet, you know?
Yo, California's dope, but you can't get good popcorn here. Straight up, it's all burnt.
It's always burnt, dude.
Here.
I swear, I walked down the street just yesterday. I smelled burnt popcorn everywhere I went.
I could fuck with California, but like also like fucking everybody here is too real and shit like that, and I'm like low key fake as fuck, and I know I'm not gonna get the fucking like every time I smell here, it's like fucking burnt popcorn, and everybody said like you smelled burnt popcorn once, and you can't just say it's the whole city, but that's all the popcorn I fucking smelled in California has been burnt.
Bro, I've been watching my back lately too, though, because like. We're starting to get a little bit political. Like over there, when we talked to Muhammad from the Bible, he was talking about like politics, and I realized we have politics in America too.
Yeah.
That's true. That's fact.
And now that I've been paying attention to this shit, I realize like how real it gets. Because like you see what they did to Diddy.
Right.
He's a political prisoner. He was trying to rock the vote. And see where that got him?
Vote or die, and like he's not voting anymore, so.
He tried to get people on the voter offender registry. And they said, you can't do that anymore because it affects change, because it's like a totally 100% free way to affect change. And they said, okay, you can't do that anymore just because like you stuck your head up Kevin Hart's ass. Since when's that against the law?
No, I thought gerrymandering did it. Gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering.
What was the documentary we were watching that was about politics? It showed like the flag, it showed the eagle and shit. And it was Jerry.
Yeah, I actually lived with gerrymandering in an abandoned clout house once. We were in there because I don't know who Tupac is, and I was hoping his ghost would show up and like explain to me who he is.
Oh shit! Because he died in a car, which means like his ghost has unfinished business, which means he could be anywhere.
Listen, shut up. Dr. Menaker has something to say.
Well, gentlemen, it seems like your perspective has been broadened from recent international travel and newly minted interest in politics. But like, let me ask the gang this question. Why do you think it's important for dope young men to vote this election?
Because, like, fucking straight up, like, a president isn't something that's, like, you know, gone today, here tomorrow. Like, it's not like herpes where you could just get rid of it. It's forever. And, like, the changes that you affect, there are so many fucking societies in the world with so many laws. And, like, if you just let that shit happen, you're like the guy at the party who lets them, like, straight up, like, come on you. Well, you should be the guy who's doing the coming on your friend.
Like I see it in like a very simple way and shit, because like basically like if I don't vote, like the vote go like to like a fucking like if I didn't like fucking vote, my vote would go to like some fucking fucking pussy or some fucking idiot or some guy that doesn't know how to like do shit good and something, like some guy that doesn't know how to get girls. So it's like it's really important to vote and shit like that, because like if you don't fucking vote and you get girls and shit and you don't want to go to the polls because you're getting too many girls, and then all of a sudden all the fucking guys that vote don't get any fucking girls and you're fucked.
Yeah,
so
what?
Just go without girls for like one fucking day and you can fucking vote.
What if you're like a dope individual, you have a McLaren, and instead of you voting, a straight man who drives a Subaru gets your vote?
I mean, honestly, though, I respect you guys' opinion, but I don't really fuck with voting because it's like, it doesn't make any money. There's a problem. I mean, you see what I'm saying? If they paid me to vote.
But
like,
what would you say to Paper Chaser? He says he doesn't fuck with voting because it doesn't get him paid.
Let me be clear. Excuse me. I'm clear about this since day one. Young men these days, they can't even afford a fare for the bus, for the subway, when they should be at school winning the science fair.
So, gang, in sort of you have a pretty dope relationship with your audience, and you're sort of you can connect with them. So like, what are the issues that are resonating the most with like dope young men this election?
Well, first of all, shout out to Ricky Tang who put us on to voting.
Yeah, Ricky Tang put us on
Shout out
to voting.
Ricky Tang.
No, I straight up did the vote already. I did it for like the first time and shit, and I got it fucking perfect.
That's true. Even though I don't fuck with it anymore, I did vote once with you guys, and yeah, 3 perfect scores. That's why I kind of feel like
I was
there's
so
no point
afraid of like
anymore.
fucking it up, because it's like the first time that you like I don't know how to like change my oil or like do stuff like that. So I figured voting's like a thing like that, or you go in there and like everybody knows how to change their oil, and I don't want to ask nobody. But I went in there in that voting booth, and you just touch it with your finger and shit, and like I just had to wipe my fingers off on my pants, and I got it perfect.
I mean, like, I had a few problems because like that like fucking dark ass curtain is so hard to like get out of. And it gave me like a PLTT like flashback to like when my mom put me in a vending machine so she could go to Atlantic City. But the people who were like working in like the voting center of like politics were actually like so fucking sweet and like helped me get out of the curtain and everything.
Yeah, but like that's the issue of like of just the physical act of voting. But like, you're voting for a candidate based on like the issues that they support or like that reflect your values. And I'm just wondering, like, what is your audience? What do they respond to? Is it immigration? Is it abortion? Is it war?
Coins.
Coins?
Mostly coins, honestly, what people are talking about. Gold coins. Lost gold coins.
What are the candidates like? What are their position like? I mean, have they taken a position on the issue of coins?
Trump. I don't think anybody said anything about coins, and it's like a day away from the election.
Well, it seems to me, on one hand, it kind of seemed like Trump likes coins, but instead he turned all his gold shit into like a building instead of coins. Like he turned his coins into a building. That seems kind of kind of baller. That seems kind of baller. He has a gold building.
He turned a coin into a building?
Yeah.
Wait, so
how big was the coin?
Sorry,
it's as big as a building.
Sorry,
that would have been so much money.
Just if I could just be clear, are you talking about cryptocurrency or are you talking about actual physical coins?
No, we don't fuck with Crips or Bloods. We're just streamers. We don't fuck with cryptocurrency.
I support like every gang in like every war, but like no.
Honestly, like I don't understand Bigfoot. Is he a dog?
You ever like feel your nose and it's windy even though there's no wind?
What? Like, is that?
Do you feel that? Do you feel the wind?
I don't smell it if I blow the.
That's so fucking weird how it can like have like wind come through it, but it's not always smelling. Like, how does it know not to smell sometimes?
President Biden, where does your administration and where would a Kamala Harris administration stand on the issue of coins?
We've been making doubloons for years. Every young man who votes in this election gets a gold doubloon. They're edible.
So, are you? Is there any initiatives to get more gold doubloons in the hands of young entrepreneurs like these gentlemen on stage?
Like treasure chests?
Yeah. I mean, this is.
I don't know where else to find coins for real though.
I mean, if you're lucky, you can like kill Sonic, but like, good luck.
I grew up with Sylvester Gold Bars. Scranton, Pennsylvania. His father, he had the gold bar store. I worked there as a boy. He wouldn't pay me. He paid me ice cream.
Damn, like most people I meet out here, like straight up, I would sell them if I could. But like, there's just something about you that just like is so fucking like real. Like, I don't know if you have a job, but like someone should give you one.
Another issue in this election is that should she win tomorrow, Kamala Harris would be the United States of America's first woman president. Fellas, do you think that some young men still have a problem voting for a woman to be president? And how do you feel about that?
I think it's like dope if a woman's president and stuff, because like if somebody was like, hey, Caden, you want to be president and stuff, I'd say, fuck, like I wouldn't want to do it and shit. So it's like, basically if they're doing it and shit and they're saying that it's cool to me and they're saying that they're a woman and doing it and like, I don't, because at the same time, just because somebody's a woman's president doesn't mean like they're going to talk about like their butt or their pussy or whatever, stuff like that. So you can just be really cool with it and just be chill with them and they'll be like chill with you.
I think like from the standpoint of like the perspective of like who she is, which is like, if I'm not mistaken, a stepmom, I think people are like having trouble with the fact that like she could very well like get stuck in like a dishwasher. And like if WW2 happens, like who the fuck is gonna get her out? And then there's like, because she's a stepmom, like what if she's on Tinder and she matches with her stepson? Because then she wouldn't know. Like she would just get married to him and like fuck him. But then their kid would be like too cold when it came out or something. And we'd have to like do a charity for like kids that need to be like under heat lamps.
But President Biden, you've been very successful with women voters. I mean, what's the key to connecting with women in America?
I think they speak for themselves.
Yo, this guy's funny as fuck. He gave us a ton of fucking Spanish fly.
Bro, the thing I learned about politics is it's all about making choices, right?
Yo.
Yeah, fact.
Democrat, the other one, etc. But it's like maybe we could help this audience make some political decisions by giving them some choices, some hypotheticals that are a little bit political in nature.
Right.
Kind of help them kind of figure out where they're at voting wise.
So a lot of like the people here and stuff know stuff about like bills and stuff that have been passed and stuff, and we start from like a more baser level where we do hypotheticals like, would you rather like go with Bill Burr and all the battle bots to the White House, or would you like?
Okay. Would you rather fuck every member of Congress as much as you want, on David Geffen's yacht, or get to vaccinate Aaron Rodgers with any vaccines you want?
Okay. I think I see like what you guys are putting down. If you were the president, would you rather like use your powers to make the world's loudest song, or to have a war that never ends so nobody loses?
Okay. So you could either live in the White House as president and your roommate is Sonic the Hedgehog and he lets you collect coins with him whenever you want. Rings. I got coins on my mind. Or you get to sing No Flex Zone with Kai Cenat at the DNC.
Yo, that's tough, man. That's really tough. Shit.
We should rather vote for Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
Yo.
Would you rather like sing Not Like Us for 24 hours in the White House with John Fetterman and Richie Torres? Or would you get like a one-on-one JOI from Dr. Joe Biden?
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
You get to filibuster the Senate for 100 hours with B.O.B. and Hurricane Chris, and you get as much Doritos as you want. Or would you want to be in a three-legged potato sack race with Donald Trump?
Would you like to be able to like go to Target with Gwen Stefani like on a moment's notice? Or would you like it so that vending machines also had cars in them?
Sorry, just real quick. I've been inspired by these hypotheticals here. I'm just wondering, how is Jill Biden good at JOI? Has she ever given you JOI?
I give the instructions.
Okay, this one's for you, Mr. President. Would you rather have you get to try all the CIA's newest drugs first before they hit the street, or you get to go band for band with Vladimir Putin at Mall of America?
Both.
Oh my God! Can we do that? Can I vote
I
for
didn't know
both
like we could
presidents?
do that and shit. Can we vote for this guy? Is that like illegal?
You can write him in.
Would you rather have it so that like you could erase things that you accidentally did to a girlfriend? Or make it so that like your phone, like you know what you're gonna look like as an angel?
Okay, would you rather be Jelly Roll's next tattoo,
Oh shit.
or pack the Supreme Court with the whole roster of Cash Money Records?
Yo, for real though, I had a studio apartment like when I was like 21 inside a Jelly Roll.
Did you recorded music in your apartment?
Yeah, and Jelly Roll is a super chill landlord. Like he basically let me play music whenever I want.
Oh my God.
We should rather have like endless ice cream, or you're able to climb to the top of a water slide.
I got a last question for you guys here. Something young men really like these days is gambling. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, this election has seen the combination of politics and gambling. According to news reports, a quote, French whale has bet $40 million on the betting website Polymarket on a Donald Trump victory.
Wait,
How
whales
does
are
he get his
gambling?
fucking phone in the ocean? That shit's stupid.
No, they got like iPhone 13s. You can take like pictures in underwater and shit.
Yeah, but like, how?
Basically, they got like they put the whole camera in like a bag, but like they shrink it so tight you don't even know it's there.
Damn.
I didn't know that France was underwater, like Atlantic.
Okay,
or some
you're
shit.
getting hung up on that. Let's just say like
The Eiffel Tower isn't because it's tall as fuck.
a French investor bet $40 million on a Trump video. I'm sure Trump victory. Have any of you bet on this election, and do you have any tips on for gambling on politics?
basically with like gambling is you got to look at like the slot machine and shit, and you have to look at it and like kind of go cross-eyed and like vibe out of your body for a little bit and try to like go inside of it and shit. And then basically like if you see, you know, once you're at that state, if you see like Young Sheldon or something, you're fucking good. That slot machine is going to be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like a lot of the times people think like the probability comes from like outside, like what slot machine you're at or like what mood like the numbers in that you're betting on. But like it also matters like what you're doing. Like what I do is I combine like Percocet because it comes from a hospital and doctors made it, and I combine that with Molly because that comes from a gay guy. And they sort of like work together to give me like both perspectives. And that way, like, you're going to have fun gambling and get your money back 100% of the time.
Like if you lose money gambling, it's your fucking fault.
Straight up.
Just win.
Straight up, like most people who like lose their house gambling, it's because they wanted to move.
You guys have provided an invaluable perspective on this election and youth culture in America. So can we give it up for the dopeness, everybody? All right. I promised I wasn't quite done with the sort of like waning Trump coverage, which, you know, I mean, it could go on another 4 years. We'll see tomorrow, but this election is seen in, like I said in the last week, the return of an old character, an old friend, in something of an October, not really a surprise, but an October, remember this? And I'm referring to journalist Michael Wolff releasing his many recorded interviews with Jeffrey Epstein. Headline, I was Trump's closest friend. I'm just going to read here. Jeffrey Epstein described himself as Donald Trump's closest friend and claimed intimate knowledge of his proclivity for sex, including cuckolding his best friends, according to recordings obtained exclusively by the Daily Beast. The convicted pedophile even boasted of his closeness to Trump and now wife Melania by claiming, the first time he slept with her was on my plane, which was dubbed the Lolita Express.
Did he clarify what the name of his plane was? Or was that added by you? Because if he's just leaving a paper trail while he was there, we should have saw that.
Going on, it says, Epstein also alleged that Trump had an elaborate scheme to procure sex with his friends' wives. He would call the men into his Trump Tower office to ask them about their sex lives and offer them sex with beauty pageant contestants, the pedophile said.
Okay, editorializing.
He would do this while the wives were, unknown to their husbands, listening on speakerphone so that he could then seduce the wives on the basis that their husbands had betrayed them, Epstein claimed. Epstein can be heard acting out what he alleged was Trump's elaborate seduction technique to Wolff, using Wolff's name and that of his wife, Victoria, to demonstrate it. Epstein said, and he'd say, what's it like to do that? Do you like having sex with your wife? How often do you have sex with her? Epstein claimed Trump would also say, you must have had a better fuck than your wife. Tell me about it. Then the pedophile alleged Trump would say, we can go, you and I can go upstairs, or tomorrow come over. There's this girl coming in from Los Angeles, part of the whatever Hawaiian Tropic contest, so come over and we can have a great time. I promise you, Michael, you know it's just me and you. We can have a great time, Epstein added. The whole time your Victoria's with us on the phone. Then he would use the wife's anger to seduce them, he claimed. That's an interesting technique because, like, he's like, your husband betrayed you with my help.
Yeah. This seems like a game of telephone between like two guys with an 82 IQ. This is something that Faze Polanski would come up with.
Well, why was The Apprentice a show? Like this was a way better show. Why didn't they just film this?
The scheme.
Oh yeah, a show called Wife Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
The tape mixes sexual allegations with other aspects of Trump's life. Early in the recording, Epstein is heard to say, you probably already know he had scalp reduction. He's getting the same male pattern baldness that we all have. He had his scalp reduced. It's hysterical. Trump has long refused to release full medical records while his White House medical reports did not disclose any prior surgeries. I wasn't aware scalp reduction was a thing. So basically they remove some of your scalp and then pull the remaining scalp even tighter over your skull to move your hairline forward.
Yeah, it turns your hair into a nice snare drum where you just hold nice and tight. I can't imagine anything going wrong from that.
Yeah, if it's a big enough cut, will it just snap?
I thought LeBron cured hair loss. Like, why didn't he just do whatever he did?
And last thing I want to say from this is he says, Epstein also told Wolf he had positive things to say about Trump. He's charming in a devious way. He's charming, he said. To some extent, it's a typical tragedy where he believes his own bullshit. Yeah, typically tragic. He has delusions of grandiosity, then he takes it on board. He added that he had a self-deprecating nature and was not vulgar. He's funny, Epstein said. Self-awareness means you're self-aware. He's aware of that person, Donald Trump. He talks about the Trumpster, quote, Trump's getting laid.
Are people who are self-aware talking third person?
So yeah, that's the October surprise. Are you surprised to learn any of this? I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, ever since we saw the video where they're like doing the Macarena and like nervously giggling, pointing out like 14-year-old girls at Mar-a-Lago, like this is like, you know, if you like stuck a gun to my head and were like, what do you think they did together? It would just be this.
I didn't think anything could top this depravity, but I didn't prepare for the show, but I do want to mention probably my favorite post of this election season happened to drop the other day, and it was from one of the Navy SEALs who killed Osama bin Laden, or claimed to kill Osama bin Laden when he was running through a door with three other guys, like the Three Stooges, and then probably tripped over themselves and accidentally killed him that way. But basically, he was threatening young male supporters of Kamala Harris with sexual slavery, quote, if social media didn't exist. He said, if social media didn't exist, you all would be my concubines. And then people were like, do you know what the word concubine means? He waited 12 hours and then said, I'm trying to make a point about what will happen to beta males like you. You will be used for food or sex, but mostly food.
Is his point...
Mostly.
Is his point like, oh, like, you know, I would make you my prag. I would make you my sex slave. I would fuck Harry Sisson and all the Biden lads from TikTok. But there are just too many funny memes on X, and I get distracted.
Well, I think it's basically like a Roman thing here, right? Of like fucking young boys. I think if men think about sex every 6 seconds and you think about Rome every 6 seconds, it's more efficient to just combine those things so you have less to think about.
I think our Navy SEALs spent a little too much time working with the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan. But to close out the show tonight, I would like to talk about an issue. And in the waning hours of this election, this nation has coalesced around something that is sure to be the defining moment of this campaign. That issue, empathy. For human beings, of course not. I'm talking about a rodent. I'm speaking, of course, about Peanut the squirrel. Peanut the squirrel, the beloved pet of a man who simply wanted to have a squirrel that he could use to promote his jack-off videos on OnlyFans before evil New York State Governor Kathy Hochul executed his pet squirrel and raccoon, which has become probably the major issue for Trump supporters in the last days of this campaign. Is it immigration? No, it's one rodent being killed.
I mean, it's crazy because, like, the squirrel bit a cop. Either Blue Lives Matter or they don't, you know what I mean? It's crazy for Republicans to turn on our law enforcement officials at this crucial moment.
If there would have been a video of the squirrel biting the cop, then there would have been plenty of Republicans who would have put the squirrel in the fucking blender. He's got rabies for sure.
Maybe the squirrel saw Joe Biden bite the kid who was dressed as a turkey. He's getting ideas from you, Mr. President.
Donald Trump couldn't eat a peanut if his brain is bigger than one.
Mr. President, do you have an opinion on Peanut the squirrel? Should Peanut the squirrel have been put down, or should people be allowed to have squirrels to promote their OnlyFans?
Look, Peanut the squirrel will not go to prison. He never said he was going to go to prison. He's with his wife and kids. He's home. He's safe. He's home.
I kind of feel like Elon is really taking this as a personal cause where he's posting about it nonstop. And I kind of feel like he missed out on being a focal point of like Harambe. And now he gets to have his own thing. You know what I mean?
It really is like a forced energy. The AI images came out immediately
see
where
this.
like the squirrel had abs.
Yeah, like this energy is exactly like the Harambe energy like 10 years ago.
But they're not even getting how shitty that was. They're not even getting,
exactly.
like, they just don't.
It's not
they're
shitty to people like Elon.
funny
They
enough.
love it. I feel like Elon probably has a Dicks Out for Harambe bumper sticker like on his Cybertruck that he just put on there, you know?
I mean, obviously these memes are pretty dope and epic.
I made that one. Felix made that one.
And like, look, it is pretty terrifying to imagine armed agents of the state coming into your house and killing your pet. And thankfully, this is the first time that's ever happened in American history, and it was unfortunately to this rodent.
If it happened to me, I would thank the cops.
I just have one post I saw here that was so good I had to read it here. This is from some tech shithead. I don't care. His name is Paul Baum. He says, because Peanut is so incontrovertibly good, his killing is a Christ-like sacrifice. Humans are flawed, but this squirrel represented nothing but happiness. If you were in favor of killing Peanut, you can't be good. And if you are good, you can't stand with those who think killing Peanut is good. Now, I guess, like, I think this is and then, oh, by the way, the House Judiciary GOP's official Twitter account tweeted justice for Peanut.
What would that look like?
Yeah. Someone like texted me and was like, I bet this will swing the election. And it's like, I just don't think most Americans who are outside of like the conservative Twitter bubble know about this. But if they do, does it outweigh like we're gonna force 11-year-olds to give birth at gunpoint?
And also, what's their plan to like rectify it? Like Chris is saying, like, is Trump going to resurrect Peanut if he wins?
Trump is going to make Pet Cemetery real.
Is there a way to get my ballot back? I think I'm going to change it to vote for Trump.
It gives me like an overwhelmingly like pathetic feeling to watch everyone force this turd out. And like it reminds me of the guys who are like, I had my friend over and we tried to come up with a creepypasta. But it's like half the country is doing that.
And Felix, this is something like you talked about on our show a lot, is the sort of the evolution of reactionary conservative sentiment in this country becoming what they beheld, and like the rise of the soy right. And I guess like my closing statement for this election is, I'm using this as like the perfect example of it, is that like, I don't follow the polls, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but it does seem that there is a certain narrative coherence and satisfaction to the idea that this election could be the perfect mirror opposite of 2016, in that Republican voters have cosseted themselves so thoroughly into a world in which apparently people care about a squirrel getting killed, that, and then like are getting on the cross talking about how the goat, Ben Garrison, the goat.
See, I like that. Like,
Yeah,
I like
he actually drew this.
Yeah, he drew it. Ben Garrison has like a fun, distinct style. All the AI shit and like the playing dolls with Wojaks. I'm a cool Nordic gamer and I'm gonna kill the state. No, but this is fine. I like this.
Yeah, this is nice. This is the closing argument, and like there's like less than 24 hours before voting starts, and people are being encouraged to vote to avenge the death of a rodent.
All Republican policies are just chosen by my Aunt Sharon now.
But you see what I mean? Like, this could be a mirror reflection of 2016 in terms of how, like, fucking self-righteous these people have gotten about absolutely nothing.
Well, like, for it to fully be a mirror of 2016, in, like, the last day of the campaign, Hillary would have had to have made the campaign about, like, something so low percentage and so, like, like, saying that Donald Trump didn't watch the net. Like, that's the only equivalent I could come up with.
The Sandra Bullock movie?
Donald Trump's voters haven't seen the OA.
Well, maybe we should ask you, Mr. President, what do you think's going to happen tomorrow?
I won't be in town.
All right. I don't have any more thoughts on this election. I can't believe there's like a couple more months to go of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, look, I know we prepared a Christmas. It was supposed to be a Christmas show, but apparently there's a fucking election we have to talk about. But we didn't want to leave you fine people in the audience tonight without a Christmas present. So we're going to give you a Christmas present tonight. And to deliver the Christmas present, we all know who delivers Christmas. Please join me in welcoming to stage Santa Claus, everybody.
They're eating the squirrels. They're eating the cats that are in there.
Santa Claus, it's so great to have you back. It's obviously been a long time since you've been on the show. It's been about a year since you've been on the show, so I just have to ask, how have things been? How you been doing?
I'm just chilling.
So Santa Claus, obviously, I've been struggling with this election. I've been struggling really with trying to come up with anything to say that's meaningful about this election or the last 7 years or the future. And that's largely been because we haven't had Santa Claus on the show in a while. But you, Santa, tonight, you have prepared a poem.
Yes, that's right. I really want to express the quantum ironic Twilight Zone weirdness, but unfortunately my brain is soup. So I composed a poem. And I just want to thank to Amber Rollo for translating, honestly, like the last testimony of Dutch Schultz. So this fusion, if you will, a poem, Because the Internet. Freak like me. Dr. Gonzo once said, when he going gets tough, the weird turn pro. Reaching into the darkness, weird connecting weird. Yet, the weird needs a nucleus, a pole for the tetherball to swing around. Every action, Newton and blithely eating an apple, has an equal and opposite reaction. So what is the opposite of calling J.D. Vance a couch fucker? Or worse, publishing that he drinks Diet Mountain Dew? Or are these already the reactions to weird Twitter? Classical mechanics in a pop culture war of the sexes. The internet warping Newtonian mechanics into a quantum fantasy. As McLuhan predicted, the TV has been transubstantiated into cool. The influencer killed the TV star by recognition. They tried to beat Trump with a finely tuned political critique. But Trump is a cool media, and we just wanted to be entertained. The mass is rent. We have no stake in this decaying system. We don't have a slice of pie, so who cares what thumb it is? It's impossible to rise to the level of fever pitch loss when we don't have anything to lose. A voting sticker does not constitute a plum. But in our craze to be entertained, we accidentally split the atom. Just because they built it doesn't mean we share custody. Unsatiated by weddings' endless appetizers, we are now haunted by Banco's hungry ghost, putting the Q in Banco. Telling ourselves a bedtime story, but begetting nightmares. Mutually assured weirdness has knocked for us from the apple tree. Normalcy might not as fantastic, but pays dividends. We may not have patios, but we still have our bodies. Grieving the promise of the American dream, Bernie was delusion, a Kubler-Ross cope. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, we awake in the wreckage. These things play themselves. We bought the tickets, we're just along for the ride. Weird is infected with terminal alienation. The right are the true radicals. Being an outlier is not people power. We have the numbers. I sanctify with normal in the name of the football, beer, and a little bit of chicken fried. Yet, J.D. Vance voices echoes into the darkness. Oh, is a sports ball happening? Peace, I'm out of here. Peace, I'm out of here.
Los Angeles, Aratani Theater. I want to thank you guys so much tonight. Merry Christmas. Once again, let's give it up for Santa Christman. Once again, I want to thank Chris Wade, Amber Rollo, Matt Christman, Alex Branson, Felix Peterman, President Joe Biden, Charles Austin, and me, Will Medeker, and the Dan Boeckner Christmas Time Players. They're playing us off tonight, people. Love you. Out.
Keep that dream burning, leave it. Keep that dream burning forever. Dream every dream. Dream